Hello. I didn't see you there, which is odd because you're right in front of me. Just doing a little light reading. I love a romance story. Welcome to the Blane Laramie podcast, which is going to be coming to you this week in video form. Mostly because I don't know what the fuck a podcast is. My very special guest this week is Roman Yevgrafov, a very funny young man. So let's get into it. This is Blane Laramie podcast. Go fuck yourself. Okay, now we're recording.
That's actually really funny. The sound guy who likes to cause controversy. Hey, before we start the podcast, before we say anything, I don't know. Just say anything that comes to mind. Like, I don't know.
Let's go ahead and get it out of our system now. Anything we need to say.
I don't want to be on record saying.
Oh, too late, dude. Too late.
Seriously, if we start over.
I've got no. That's. I'm live tweeting this right now. This is on Periscope. You know what? Actually, this is gonna be fun because now I get to figure out how to use the beep option on my audio editing software.
You're gonna edit out tits?
Oh, by the way, we are here with the very you're very funny, very talented Roman Yevgrafov. Did I pronounce that right?
Very close.
How do you pronounce it?
Yevgrafov.
Yevgrafov.
Mm-hmm.
So just not as much enthusiasm on the last O, and I've got it, right?
Yeah.
Alright. It's really hard not to be enthusiastic about O's. I really like them a lot. Like the cereal. Orgasms are pretty awesome.
Oreos.
Yeah. Driving around in circles, that's pretty fun. Okay, so Roman Yevgrafov is my guest today. He's a stand-up comedian. As I mentioned, he's a very funny young man. I got to see him participate. I mean, how would I even refer to what you did with Todd?
You probably wouldn't.
Well, no. I mean, he was doing sound for Todd Glass the other night, and it was part of, it was a reoccurring bit where, he wanted music to be played, and I thought you guys did fantastic. I was a fantastic show. I thought you guys were hilarious. I mean, he was hilarious, and of course, you pressed play at the right time. So
that's a great way. So today's guest is Roman. He's a fantastic comedian. Let me tell you my favorite Roman memory. The other week, he hit play for a very successful comedian a few times.
That's one of my most
when he was cued in, not by choice.
That's one of my most recent memories. No.
What's the second one? Me yelling at people in a Chinese restaurant, why aren't you laughing?
Yeah, but which time?
The whole month.
My favorite Roman quote is, "These jokes are really fun, you guys." Mm-hmm. I love that. Because you're right, they are. It's their fault, it's not yours. You're doing great. You're doing fantastic. Speaking of, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Alright. Comedy-wise, what have you been up to lately?
Just writing bits, getting rid of old bits.
Alright, you've been doing a little bit of performing though, right?
Yeah, I get up a lot. That's the guy who tries not to be cocky. Yeah, I get up a lot. That's what I do.
That's cool.
I take it seriously, as we said.
So you say you're getting rid of old bits? Is that what you said?
Not getting rid of old bits. Like, for example, like my dog birthday bit. Everybody knows who's listening. It's the guy who thinks everybody did research on it.
The dog birthday bit. I love that.
Well, of course, I started out by saying, like, hey, I got big news from work. He just does the bit. Yeah, so, like, big news from work. It was recently my boss's dog's birthday. Everybody goes, oh. I'm gonna go, like, yeah, really? And she showed me pictures. There was, like, cakes and candles and stuff, and etc. I'm like, here's a genuine question. I'm like, did the dog blow out the candles? And then she goes, are you stupid? Am I stupid? You have a fucking party for your dog. There's cake and candles and stuff, and they're bulldogs. They're like, ugh. And historically, dogs have done amazing things, like rescue people from avalanches, sniffed out drugs at the airport, helped the blind live their life. But the big stretch is the dog going, what's next? You're gonna have dog weddings, 2 dogs. Who's the best dog? We don't know. I bet the dog is happy he's gonna die 7 times faster, so he doesn't have to put up with that shit. So I don't work there anymore, and I don't do that bit anymore.
Why not?
Well, let me break it down for you. So,
I mean, besides the fact that it wasn't funny.
well, I don't think you caught it, so... So big news from work, Blane. It was my boss's dog's birthday.
Gotcha. Okay.
And there's like,
birthday.
I know you're wondering, were there like cakes and candles and stuff? Absolutely.
Where are you employed, by the way?
I work at the Pacific Corinthian Yacht Club.
That sounds very waspy.
That's right.
Is it? Is there a lot of white Anglo-Saxon Protestants there?
Yeah, it's a dope job, as I would say.
Are Catholics allowed inside?
Yeah, as long as you're not black, it's fine.
How about Jews? Are Jews allowed? Yacht club. I'd imagine there's got to be a few Jewish people who can afford that.
Yeah, we have some.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And it's in Oxnard, California.
It is in Oxnard, California.
Is
It's under the bridge.
Downtown?
No.
That's where I drew some blood. Oh, I'm sorry. I should say that for Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy's gonna be a guest.
I would imagine eventually. I made a Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh, by the way, Leo Martinez and Metallica. I have to mention both Leo Martinez and Metallica every podcast. I'm like legally bound. I have to mention them both. I really can't get into the details of it, mostly just because I just made it up.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So Roman was kind enough to show me a couple videos, like, hey, you want to see me bomb? And then he shows me this video of him doing fantastic. And I was like, I thought you were going to show me bomb. And he's like, okay. And then he showed me a video of him bombing.
No. I want to make it really clear that I led in with a really good video because I wanted to set the standard. I'm like, this is what I do. And then I led in with a shitty one. I lead in twice. That's what I do. I do 2 lead-ins. I'm all about leading, no following.
He's doing a lot of leading. Yeah, he's leading twice.
That's right.
Leader, pumpkin eater.
Yeah.
That was yeah. Okay.
I like what you're doing to the place. Not giving a fuck. That's really working out for you.
What do you mean? I think wow. I gotta be honest. For a bachelor, for a single guy, this isn't too bad.
I like
I have posters in frames, for Christ's sake.
You have a fucking NSYNC boy poster behind you.
Okay, that is not NSYNC.
Who is that?
That's a Madix, the clothing company. They sponsor skateboarders. Those are all professional skateboarders.
Okay.
It's just a coincidence they all happen to be in a boy band. That's just good.
And then you have the pull-up bar below that you never use.
No,
just making it fucking hard for tall people to walk through doorways.
Oh no! It's just like the guitar. That's there. So like when girls come over, it's like, oh, he plays guitar. And
I feel like you should put all your cool shit in one corner. Like there's a pull-up bar in one corner, like leaning on the guitar next to the bomb.
That would be a pretty awesome corner. I don't know if I'm ready for that. That'd be like the most amazing corner ever.
All right, so ask me some questions.
All right.
Yeah, softball me some bits and I won't do them.
So we've talked about in the past. We've talked about you're not too big on heading out to Hollywood quite yet. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I just feel like there's too many Jews over there.
Well, one is too many. So you're absolutely right.
Everybody's gonna think I'm racist. It's gonna be great.
Roman is not racist. He's unfortunately trying to. I think what he's trying to do is channel Blane Laramie.
I'm so much.
Which I'm super offended by because you're racisming all wrong.
I know.
Who taught you how to racist?
But no. Let's talk about. We were gonna talk about bringer shows.
I was gonna get to that.
It's okay. I run the.
Okay, let's go. Okay, bringer shows. Go. So, Roman isn't on board with bringer shows. There's an overall consensus, I think, in the comedy community that bringer shows aren't the greatest. A bringer show, for those of you who don't know, is if you can bring X amount of people, 5, 10, 15, whatever it is, you get 5 minutes. If you bring 10 people, you get 5 minutes. If you bring 15, we'll go ahead and give you 7 minutes or whatever is sometimes the case. And Roman is not on board. He's going to go ahead and I guess give us a little bit of a detailed reasoning why. You don't have to be too detailed.
No, that's okay.
Just use words.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Let's think about it. Well, the producer books you, right? And they give you a spot or whatever. It's not like they're paying out money to you. You have your people come out. If you bring, let's say, 10 people at $10 a head, that's $100, right? And then they're doing the drinks, they're drinking stuff, so they get the percentage of the bar on top of that. So basically, you're paying the dude to perform. At that point, why not go say, like, hey, you want me to perform here? Why don't I just give you $50 and I don't have to drag my friends? And then ultimately, when you're bringing people out to bringer shows, the quality of the show, I would say, is, maybe not always, but I'd say majority of the time, I would feel okay making that statement, is inferior to an actual show. Because and then when people are in the audience and they come out to a bringer show and they don't know what a bringer is, they don't know any better, right? They come out. Some of them might have never been to comedy, and they'll come out and see a bringer show and they're like, oh, this is comedy. I guess I don't like it, and they think all comedy is that. And it's not really my point, which I made right there. I've heard somebody else say it before, so I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm a genius, but I agree with it completely.
No, I mean, like I said, there is you have a substantial amount of our peers that agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't not disagree. In my personal experience, I mean, the only bringer shows I guess I've really done have been Flappers and the Comedy Store, both of which I'm excited to perform at. Like for me, the Comedy Store is like a dream come true. Like, it really is. It's so. I guess that's like if you I don't know if you have like some particular admiration of like a building or a landmark or something, but like I do, I consider the Comedy Store, to me, that's it. That's the alpha and the omega. Like that's the center of the comedy world to me. And my 2-year plan was to eventually, maybe one day, perform at the Comedy Store. So since doing the shows with Martin, it kind of sped that thing along, and I was actually able to get people to show up. I honestly was like, yeah, I'll do it, but I didn't think I could. I got people to show up. I've continued to get people to show up, and we have a great time. I mean, to me, going to the Comedy Store, like, why not? Why not? Okay. I mean, I think that's one of the few rare exceptions. Is like, to me, I'm personally really passionate about it, and we have a great. I love being there. I love being there. But bringer shows as a whole, typically, they're not the cat's meow. They're not. And you're right. They're But one thing I have.
Basically, I wouldn't feel good bringing my friends to a show that I don't believe in.
True, yeah. But I mean, there's a good portion of like any show. Like I understand that. I come from a background like I'm just saying that the difference between me and you is I'll almost take literally anything. I will almost literally take anything. You're a little bit more particular about what you take.
That's make me sound kind of douchey.
No, not at all. No. You can't put a price on artistic integrity.
No. Brody Stevens said it really good. Like, he didn't say it that time. I've seen him before. He said, just put yourself in situations where you can succeed.
Yeah. That's very fair. That's very fair. Yeah. I mean, you're a funny young man. You're doing all right. I'm definitely interested to see, how you're going to fare compared to how I'm going to do. I mean, you've got a solid year on me at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I remember that even just coming into the Ventura County comedy scene, you stuck out to me. I've always thought you were very, very funny. I love your delivery. I love your jokes. And I mentioned earlier, and I meant it as a compliment. I know I typically don't say these kinds of things as a compliment, but I really do think that you would have a very broad, like, kind of middle America appeal. I think you would be very successful.
I think the word you're looking for is likable.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. What the hell? I don't know. I don't expand positive words. I don't do positive words. I don't have a vocabulary for positive words. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
But people said that to me before. They said you're likable. I'm like, and they're like, don't take it the wrong way. And they're like, it's good to be likable. Like, you can just be you, and people like you for it.
When I see you and I see your material, to me, and this is I'm nobody, but I see that that's something that would pass on like late night TV on fucking The Tonight Show or something. I see it as being stuff that nobody's gonna call up ABC going, I'm offended by that, and it's still funny and it's relatable because you talk a lot about being Russian and stuff, and it's like to the lay person. I think one of the disadvantages of being born in America is we're super boring. We're American. We're not foreign. We're it. So like just the fact that you come from Russia makes you a little bit more exciting.
I know, but ultimately, like, I don't want to be stuck talking about it all the time. Like, I haven't really lived life. Let's be honest here. Like, 12 years I've been in. I know,
but you still understand what comedy is, so you're way ahead of the game. And you're right. I mean, there's the debate. Like, when do you start comedy? The earlier you start, the more experience you're gonna have. But you're inexperienced as a human being. So there's the fucking trade-off. Are you gonna get married and get divorced and have a couple kids and join the military and do a bunch of bullshit like that, like I did?
Probably not.
Good.
I like to make good decisions. Oh, that was mean. Everybody's gonna think I'm mean.
Hey, that's good. No, it's a good. Speaking of mean, can we talk about when you asked Kat out on a date? Can we talk about that?
It was just a bit, dude.
No, it wasn't.
It was a bit. I do bits. No, I'm not copying out. I'm just honestly, it's a bit. Leave her alone. I'm tired of the bit.
Leave her alone. I want to. No.
You broke up with your girlfriend. Go for it.
And?
I came in, I talked to Blane, I'm like, hey, what happened? then he was like, we're gonna save it for the podcast. Go
I
on.
asked you if you wanted. Okay, fine. I asked you if you wanted it to. Okay.
He begged me. He's like, I want to do
I was like, please.
He was on his fucking knees. Oh god, it was embarrassing.
Okay, so we won't talk about the time, and I'll probably edit this out because he's gonna cry about it, that he asked out Kat and she turned him down because she wanted to date Blane Laramie. Anyway, so yeah, I did break up with my girlfriend. I felt like her feelings for me were growing at an exponential rate in comparison to my feelings for her. So that makes it a lopsided situation where I felt like she was falling in love with me and I wasn't there yet, and I was concerned with whether or not I would ever get there. And there was just a couple of situations where she was uncomfortable with me and my flirtatious ways with other women.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. I'm just, like, there's a young lady at the Hong Kong Inn who's a waitress who I've known for a while, like pretty much since I've done comedy there. I'm very flirtatious with her, and she saw that and she took it the wrong way. And one thing for me is when I'm in a relationship, and I'm, it takes a lot for me to even be in a relationship with a very particular guy. So if I'm into a girl, I'm into a girl. I'm not interested in anybody else. So for somebody to get jealous when I have that kind of dedication to them, it raises red flags, and I have a hard time functioning. I'm a very anger-driven person, a very fear-driven person, and if put in the wrong situations, I can lash out in a very negative way. So I have to be very careful not to hurt the people I care about. So I really just kind of saw a potential for me eventually hurting her, and I didn't want to do that. So now...
Did you break up with her or she broke up with you?
No, I broke up with her. Yeah.
So I didn't want to hurt her later, so I hurt her now.
Well, no, I feel like there's too much potential. Yeah, there's just too much potential to one day, if I don't ever fall in love with her and she's falling in love with me, that's going to hurt her.
I don't know, but maybe give it a week.
You know what, fuck you. I'm a grown-ass man, dude. Trust me, I know I did this.
But do you think that's a fair point?
I gave it 5 days. How's that? I gave it 5 days.
But ultimately, I'm trying to say even a week more, 2 weeks more, it's an insignificant amount of time in the grand scale. But maybe it would change your mind.
No, I mean, like, literally from the time I was like, I don't think I want to pursue this relationship anymore, I gave it 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically kind of ignored her, which I shouldn't have done, but at the same time, in that time frame...
But ignoring somebody sends a message clearly. People say, like, I don't want to be ignored. Like, why don't they just be direct with you? No, they are being direct with you. They don't like you. That's what ignoring is. No, am I right?
I like her very much. I even love her. No, that has nothing to do with it. It's just whatever I say is going to be based off emotion, and I need time to process that emotion so I don't say something like, fuck you.
Yeah, you shouldn't say fuck you.
But I do. That's my thing, though. That's what I do.
So I'm reading a book right now.
Shut up. Does that have pictures in it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
They're in black and white. No, but I'm reading a book about the brain and how the brain functions. And the guy breaks it down like our brain has 2 systems. There's system 1, which is just instinctive. If I fucking spilled the glass over or something, you'd be like, hey, what the fuck? Just by instinct. You wouldn't think about it. And there's the second system, which is like much more logical and breaks stuff down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess when you say fuck you, and that's your gut instinct, that's your system 1 going, right? But sometimes your intuition is wrong, and then you have to use your system 2 to crack it down. But if you constantly trust your intuition, you'll be oblivious to you being wrong. You'll just...
That's me in a nutshell. That's probably one of the best ways to describe my mental function. That's absolutely true.
So ultimately, the way you, if you wanted to mend it or you wanted to make it better or per se or more accurate, you instead of having like instant reactions to something, you pull back and say, hey, maybe I'm wrong, and just analyze the situation for an extra moment.
Well, a good portion of my progressing as a human being has been to take that time.
Yeah.
Because for those of you who, anybody who has anger issues, they can relate to the fact that when you lose your temper, it feels good. It feels so
I don't have anger
good.
issues. I don't know. What would you compare it to?
I would compare it to a drug addiction where you don't even have to leave the house to get high.
I don't have a drug addiction either.
I would compare it to having a froyo machine in my house. For you.
Finally,
and that froyo, and your wife's going like, if it's either me or the froyo machine, and you're like, but I need the froyo machine. I've had the froyo machine my whole life. And she's like, okay, well then I'm leaving. And you're like, but baby, I love you. And but the froyo, and she's got to go. And
I like in this scenario, I'm married. I love that. That was my favorite part of that.
She was hot too, dude. You fucked up. Dude, she's
The
gorgeous.
machine or the wife?
The machine wife. The wife. I mean, they're both. But yeah, there you are eating, froyo by yourself, thinking like, fuck
No, it's
you.
okay, it's
I
not.
got the froyo, and I don't need you, because the froyo knows me. You don't know me. She's not coming back.
I think we went a little bit too far with the froyo machine.
No.
No, we were talking like all about the smart stuff. I mentioned the book that I read 4 chapters of, and it was going in such a good direction.
Tell us about the book.
No, I read 4 chapters. I covered all of that I read.
What is the name of the book?
Thinking Fast and Slow. And
No. You talked about the book. You talked about the 2 different
systems within the brain, System 1, System 2.
Like basically like the id and the ego, maybe?
Well, not necessarily even. It's literally your brain. It's okay. So anyways, that's
what the fuck is the id and the ego? Where does it exist?
Ego, well, yeah, I have ego moments too. I've had some bad ego moments.
But no, it's like you're talking about like there's the first reactionary and then it's that secondary stage or the secondary. I'm sorry, what do you call them?
Second.
There's the 2
System 1.
systems.
System
Okay,
2.
so there's the secondary, the second system, System 2, where you reflect and you take the time.
Yeah.
But as long as you're focusing on
analytical.
System 1, you never actually realize you're wrong.
Well, you're not focusing on System 1. They're all present, and one is more dominant than the other one, depending on who you are, I guess, or depending on even a situation.
I think it's just easier for.
But I think ego is different from that. Let's talk about ego. Do you think you have an ego?
Absolutely.
I think I have an ego too.
Absolutely have an ego, yeah. That's kind of one of the reasons I like you. You do. And at first when I was like, why does he have an ego? I don't mean like disrespectful. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is it? I'm sure people should think that about me. I have no reason to have an ego.
But I think it's off-putting to a certain extent too.
Absolutely it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's also endearing. And once people get to know us, they love us even more.
Yeah, but I guess you're pushing off the people who won't get to that stage by that initial first impression.
Dude, I'm trying.
I know, but I'm talking for myself too. I'm not trying to.
Well, let me put it to
I'm
you
not
this
attacking
way:
you.
the young lady who I just recently broke up with, up until she and I, decided that we wanted to see each other naked. I remember a very pivotal point in my life when she said to my face, "I don't like you."
Really?
Yeah, she flat out to my face said, "I don't like you,"
Mm-hmm.
and I ended up inside of her a couple months later. So.
Did she have a bigger dick than you?
No, but she did have a thicker mustache. I'm gonna get silly for a second. Here's a Dr. Dre quote: "You gotta make them fear you before you can make them feel you."
Wow, you heard it from the racist old white guy. Quoting Dr. Dre. Still
Dr.
racist.
Dr. Dre's not black.
He's not even a doctor.
He's not even a real doctor. He keeps prescribing. Never mind. No, but I mean that's a very primitive way of saying what I'm trying to say. Especially like even with like comedy with your audience, like why do we do crowd work? To get them a little bit involved.
I rarely do crowd work.
I know that's why you're not very
What?
successful.
I did crowd work the other night on Friday night, and I asked the lady where she's from. She's like, East LA. I'm like, oh wow, so you speak a lot of Spanish, right? And then she goes, no, I speak Mexican. And then I told her, I'm like, oh, so we have a racist in the audience. And then I followed that up with, ma'am, you're old, so I'm not surprised.
I like the crowd work.
And then I jumped up on my own to the stage and said to myself, now this is fun.
No, I like when you softball me a question and then you never actually answer any of the questions. Like so you did that. I remember when you did that. Oh yeah, softball me a question. I'm like, oh, tell me about having twin sisters.
Oh, I don't have sisters.
Yeah. I love that. That was freaking brilliant.
It's a bit.
Well, then there you go. That's crowd work, and then it gets us excited. It gets us in. But I honestly feel like it's a super important part of getting building an audience. Eventually, we'll be able to say whatever the hell we want. But no, crowd work, absolutely, yeah.
I disagree.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. If you, especially if you lead up and you walk on, you start talking to the crowd and nothing happens, they don't know who you are. We're not important on the grand scale, And somebody you.
But you make them feel.
No, I know, but I guess what I'm trying to say, you talk to somebody right off the bat and you're not funny. That's it. They're gonna discard you. They're like, yeah.
What if you start doing material and it's not funny? It's the exact same thing.
Same thing, but material is more controlled because ultimately you write a joke and you do the joke so many times, you're like, hey, it works. So it's kind of like a fail-proof way to go up and do it. Almost fail-proof, 99% I would say.
Is that a guarantee?
No, nothing is a guarantee. But ultimately, with crowd work, it is more interesting, but it's also kind of phony in a sense, too.
Where do we go when we die?
Well, no, I want to go back to crowd work.
Okay, so yeah.
With crowd work, even when you're, like, asked the questions, like, you can set it up where you know the answer. You know,
well, that's what crowd work is.
No, situations are gonna repeat.
There's professional comedians who they have the same like, oh, this so and so, and then every set they do, they have a so and so in the crowd, like, oh, this guy fucks goats. And, or that's a bad example. I'm having a hard time thinking of something, but like, this guy seems to find a guy who fucks goats in every crowd.
Or a couple, like, oh, there's a couple. He has material about couples or something.
Which is, I mean. That is what I try to kind of avoid, but at the same, and that's one thing I struggle with. I don't want to do like that, middle of the road stuff, but at the same time, I do want recognition.
But ultimately, too, if you can't rely on crowd work. There's going to be come a point in your life where you have to get up and just do material.
Well, let's say, okay, you have a 5-minute set.
Sure.
Is it too much to ask just for like a minute or two talk to the crowd?
Probably not. With 5 minutes specifically, you shouldn't talk to the crowd. I would argue.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I tell you why. Also, because you're not even the center of attention of the show. You're just doing a guest spot with 5 minutes.
Who's to say you can't take the spot on it?
But nobody's there to see you. Ultimately, that's what I'm trying to say. And I say that to me too.
I understand.
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I guess in the perfect world, if I was a headliner, I'd prefer people not talking to the audience. Also, because it might entice them to want to talk. Like they'll think, oh, we're part of it. We get to just say shit out loud, and it makes somebody else's job harder. Might even make your own job harder if you're terrible.
So for you, basically, comedy would work best if there was no crowd.
No, you need the crowd, but ultimately, like, if you could avoid it, and I like doing crowd work too. Don't get me wrong, but I guess I prefer doing material over crowd work. I think that's the best way to put it. I'm not against either, but I prefer one over the other.
But you don't see the benefit of crowd work like I do.
No, I do see the benefit of crowd work.
Right.
Like, I do get it. It engages
because
people. It's in the moment. People are like, oh, you're talking to me, huh?
Yeah. Well, I think that... Yeah.
Sure, And times you do have to talk to the crowd. Like, when you're hosting a show, you should talk to the crowd a little bit. Get them excited, get them revved out. Like, hey, we're here for the show. Good to see you, sir. Good jack, and da-da-da-da-da. Engage them. I guess that'd be the key word. But ultimately, you have to drop into material, and the show will run on material.
Absolutely.
Crowd work.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
That's all I'm trying to say.
But if you are, as you mentioned, they didn't come to see you. You're one of 20 comics. You got your 5-minute slot.
Yeah.
They're here to see Joey McJowenstein, who's up 8th. You're 5th.
Yeah.
If you can get them to go, hey, Joey, he did really good. Also, that guy Roman was really funny too. Yeah. That's what I'm going for.
You know what's insane? Sorry to interrupt. Like,
no, please, it's the Roman interview. So
let's face it, I'm more interesting.
You absolutely are. In my defense, I've been doing cocaine for the last 72 hours.
I'm not that douchey. You know what's interesting? When you follow somebody who does really well and you don't acknowledge it, you'll probably not do well. Like, if somebody kills up front before you, and then you get up and you just go like, hey, what's the deal with ducks?
Yeah.
They're gonna hate you.
Yeah.
But if you literally go up right before you say, hey, what's the deal with ducks? You go like, hey, wasn't Steve great? And everybody goes like, yeah, he was great. Now it's your turn.
Well, I think that makes you just a little bit more even if Steve wasn't great, just by you doing that, everybody's like, oh, okay, here's a guy who's, he likes to play fair. There's a level playing field type guy.
Yeah.
But
usually I don't say if somebody doesn't kill, there's no point. I can just go into it. Sometimes
No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I'm kind of contradicting myself because you're basing it on the legitimacy of the performance.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, let's just, try and make everybody smile.
I know, but you shouldn't say stuff for the sake of saying it. It is phony to a certain extent,
But you don't say, hey,
but you don't have to say anything mean either. If somebody does that, you don't have to say, wasn't fucking Steve the worst? No, you don't.
No. But like, hey, how about a round of applause for Blane? That was fantastic. Or, I don't know. I see where you're coming.
It's not necessary. And also, I'll tell you why it's not necessary. When you're doing a 5-minute spot, you shaved like 20 seconds off your spot right there.
Good point.
Like, why? Unless you don't have jokes to tell, then fucking give people applause for all you care. Hey, give it up for fucking doors. Hey, I like doors.
So here we go. We say, hey, we turn in the wasn't Roman fantastic in the crowd work, like you with the big titties. Wasn't Roman fantastic? Let's see them titties. No. When do I get to see titties?
I don't know, you got a computer right there. It's $900. He's bragging about it.
He
wanted me to mention it. He's like, I bought this computer. Nobody knows how much it costs. I'm like, $900. There, Blane. Give me a fucking free beer now.
Talk about all the comedy poontang. Like, almost every time I see this guy, he's like, oh, yeah, dude, I was just eating pussy in the parking lot. Like, what? How?
I lie a lot. I have a problem, as we like to say it. No, you'd be surprised how little vagina comes from having good sex.
Have you ever gotten laid from being a comedian?
No.
Have I? I don't think so. No. Have I ever?
No, it's interesting.
Have I ever not?
But you know what's funny? It gives you like the legitimacy if you have a good set. You can come up to anybody and just talk to them because they're on board with talking to you because they believe in you. They're like, hey, I saw that person up there. They're kind of cool, I guess. And it's like the grossest feeling ever. Like, I don't like seeing people after shows because I feel like I shouldn't want to depend on whatever.
Oh, Mr. Popular, who was that?
That's my home calling.
Okay.
Can we pause this so I can pick it up?
No.
No.
I'll just edit it out. Yes, mother.
Алло? Не, я пошел что-то делать, я буду дома позже. Давай, пока.
So who did you just have murdered?
That was my mom.
That was awesome, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
How could we not? That's the first time I've ever heard you sprechen Sie Deutsch.
Oh, that's German, but close. For
That's
all our German listeners.
So there's a side of Roman that a lot of us have never experienced.
Yeah.
You don't speak Russian. I'm sorry. What would the? I apologize. I don't want to be a dickhead. What is it that you speak? Is it Russian?
It is Russian.
Okay.
Spot on.
Okay.
And I also don't talk without doing bits, so this is two sides you got to see here.
You're like, yeah, Mom. Hey, so two Jews walk into a bar. What did she have to say? Because I'm gonna Google translate that.
No, she was just asking me where I was.
Yeah. Are you with Blane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I talking about before? I feel like I was making a good one. Oh, no, meeting people after shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing people after shows.
But that gives you an indication. Anybody who walks up to you and shakes your hand, says "good set," that means 5, 6, 7 other people were thinking the same thing.
I know, it's fine. And ultimately, if people are laughing and clapping during the show, I'm like, I get it. They like it.
You're such a dick.
I'm not a dick. You know why? Because people say the stuff that upsets me afterwards sometimes, and I'm like, I don't want to put myself
You
in
gotta
that
thicken
position.
that skin, dude.
It's not thicken that skin. It's like I just don't want to hear it. Like I don't want to base my night off based on something off something that someone says to me.
Do you want to be a professional comedian?
Yeah, it'd be great.
So
It's really hard.
Let's
though.
say,
Dude, I'm burning out right now. I'm burnt, tired.
You're only 22.
I know, I'm tired. When you get up 5 to 7 times a week, it gets tiring. And
You're
there's
such a dick.
I'm not being a dick. I'm being honest.
I do that too.
I'm
Face.
not doing a bit. I'm honestly.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
I know it's been a year and a half though. I'm tired.
Dude,
This is all I do. No, I'm being real with you. I'm not even like arguing. I'm being real. This is all I do. I get up, I go to work, and then I drive places, and I come home and I get up for work again. I go to the gym. I lift a few weights. It's ugh.
Roman is very buff, by the way. We've tried to like suggest maybe a hobby or something outside of comedy.
Yeah, I should have a hobby. I should do something.
What about like model cars or tennis or
something? Yeah, something. But
do they
ultimately,
have tennis courts at the yacht club?
No.
Oh.
We have a swimming pool.
Is it the ocean?
No, it's a swimming pool. No, but being like serious is like it's all I do, and it's gross, and it's making it hard to come up with material when you don't live a life. There's only so much I can say about doors.
Whoa! Wait a minute. You and I have had that discussion. Do it for the material. You're the guy who likes to do his set and go home an hour before everybody else is done. And I mean, I'm not giving you a hard time about that, but like we've discussed that, like you have to experience life for the sake of material.
I know, but even me leaving early, I think you guys paint me as a bigger dickhead than I actually am.
No. You do what you want, dude. It's not.
It's not like I commit. I'm a shitty person.
Dude, trust me, dude. I hate staying there till 1:30 in the morning. It's fucking boring.
But ultimately, you don't have to.
I know, but
It's nice of you, but you don't have to.
I'm really honest. What it comes down to is I want to support.
It's great that you want to be supported, but I guess if it's coming from the right place and you're doing it for the right reasons, there's nothing bad.
And it's like I mean, of course we're gonna give you a hard time for leaving early, but like nobody like holds it against you. That's not.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But even when people say, "Hey, Roman never hangs," that's bullshit. I do hang out. Maybe not as much, but I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I am at fault with that.
Whatever your process is.
But look, I'm not a dickhead, and I'll prove to you I'm not a dickhead. I called you right now and said, hey, let's do this.
No, you did, yeah. I was super stoked. I'm honestly surprised that you even brought it up, because I would never have asked you.
Because I genuinely wanted to do it.
I assumed you would have said no, though. I would have never asked you.
Why would you think I'd say no, though?
Because you're a very, well, I mean, you're obviously a very reserved person.
I am, yeah, but I don't know. But I genuinely wanted to do it, and I drove on and I said, yeah, totally, let's do it.
I appreciate that, man. I wanted you on. I was very excited when you offered. I was very excited.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, from the beginning, there really is just a handful, 3, maybe 5 of you guys that since the beginning I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, these are the guys that are the funny dude. Because there was a time in my life when I honestly truly believed funny people didn't live in Ventura County.
Mm-hmm.
I literally thought that. A good portion of that was like, because yeah, I'd go to a bringer type show, like, you know,
that brings back to my other point earlier, I guess.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. But I feel like as the entertainment, it's up to me to bridge that gap. Like I need to just blast it out. Like when I was in a band, to me it was either 5 or 5,000. It didn't matter how many people were in the audience. I was just gonna wreck it. It didn't matter as long as I had that attitude. 5 or 5,000, it doesn't matter. I was always such a much better performer.
That's a great attitude to have, but ultimately it's fucking so painful to do a comedy show in front of 5 people.
It is. But then that's also, I think, a good portion of just where we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about?
That's actually a great point. Like I never thought of that when I'm performing for 5 people. It's like this is what I actually deserve at this point in my life.
It's not a question of deserving. It's just where you are.
Yeah.
I don't deserve.
I never thought of it that way. It's true.
I don't deserve a good portion. I've been very lucky. I've been very blessed. I don't deserve a good portion of the few gigs I've gotten and stuff. There's a good portion. I'm like, I just happen to know the right people. I just happen to mention the right name. Like literally, I'm sitting there going like, holy fuck! It literally is who you know.
But ultimately, let's not paint me in a fucking positive picture either, where I'm like so great, whatever. No, I fucking set up stages. I see people. Yeah, and that's how you get spots. Ultimately, you want to grow past it, but hey.
You're doing Sound for Todd, which I have to say, honestly, like, I was excited. I was like, that's fucking awesome for you to, be part of Todd Glass' stage performance. Like, yeah. I think he's a very funny comic. My first experience with him was him on Tosh.0.
Yeah.
When he gets the kid in the van looking for it.
God,
I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, it was great, yeah.
And I was a parent, and I thought that was fucking hilarious.
It was great.
So it was. So it was. And then, like I said, the last time I saw him up until that night was opening up for Louis C.K.
Yeah.
So obviously he's established.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So seeing you work with him was a treat. I really.
Oh, he's a super nice guy. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Because I know. You do your own thing, and then by all means do it. Do it. Don't ever. I'm a slave to the best soundbite. I'm a slave to that.
What do you
advice.
mean by you do your own?
Like. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. I take the Jay Leno approach to comedy. I feel like I will do whatever it takes. I will do whatever it takes to be in front of the biggest audience. And I don't see that in you. I see you waiting to develop your own crowd, and I see you developing.
But what do you mean
by
that? Like if somebody said, "Hey, do you want to perform in front of 500 people?" and I'd say, "Nah."
Well, you turn down the bringer shows and stuff. You're like there's an integrity to your comedy that's. I don't understand.
It's not integrity, I guess, that ultimately I like my friends and I wouldn't want to put them in that situation.
Dude, the Comedy Store's fucking fun. We have such a blast.
I'm sure it's great.
We hang out with Bobby Lee and Kurt Fox and freaking Godfrey.
But ultimately, it's like, where's that? It's not gonna. It's fun. It's cool.
And Brody Stevens, who acts like he don't know me.
No, it's fun at school, like meeting all these people. I get to meet a bunch of great comedians that you've never heard of too, which is they happen to be really cool people too. Meeting these people, it's nice. But
drop some names of comedians we never heard of.
No. But what I'm trying to say is, like, ultimately, like, doing a show at the Comedy Store once or twice or something, it's not going to change your career or anything.
No. But as when I first...
I'm not trying to shit on it. Please don't take it
wrong. No, dude, by all means.
Yeah.
This is where we can disagree. It's all right.
Yeah.
But when I was coming up through the ranks, any comedian I saw, like, on Facebook or any comedian I saw on Twitter or whatever, who had a picture... on stage at the Comedy Store, who had a picture on stage at the Improv, I'm like, okay, how do I get to that point?
But ultimately it boils down to is like you could literally stand on a stage before a show and take a picture. I know. I'm trying to make this point.
No, you're absolutely right. But
and then ultimately,
there is a legitimacy to what I do.
Just because you can bring 10 people to a show doesn't mean you're funny.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. But I feel like, and maybe I'm not funny. I don't know. I definitely put a shitload of effort into trying to be funny, and I felt like the last show I did at the Comedy Store, which is a bringer show. I felt like I was one of the funnier. I fucking crushed it in comparison to like the first maybe 6 or 7 comedians. That's not a diss on them. It's just
it is to a certain extent.
No. I spent an entire week of my life because I had performed the week before. Martin said, "Hey, I got a couple spots next week," and I was like, "Okay, I'll come back." I didn't do too good that first time. The time before, the week before, I actually felt like I did horrible. So I was like, okay, it's a bringer show, middle of the road type crowd, and ironically, that's the Tonight Show type crowd. If somebody's gonna go see a taping of the Tonight Show, you're gonna get a mismatch of people.
Sure. They're also kind of excited if you go see Conan or David Letterman when he was still around.
They're there to see Conan or David Letterman.
I know, but they're still excited to be there. They're to warm up.
But it's
guys,
the same.
Like, hey guys, there's a different energy. Probably having a TV set, from what I hear, what I imagine, is probably the easiest set you'll ever have.
So you don't have a TV set? You can't afford one? Is that?
Well, no, I'm trying to say if you're doing a set on TV on Conan or something, it's like people are so excited to be there. But I guess it's like the complete opposite if like you're opening for somebody like Hannibal Buress, like the guy was opening the show while people are walking in through the doors and talking.
The guy, what's his name?
I don't even remember.
Exactly. Okay, I think you made your point. That's a valid point. All right.
I just remember him being okay. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. And then Hannibal came out. I'm like, oh, here's Hannibal Buress.
Oh, dude, I love Todd Glass. When he was opening up for Louis C.K., I was like, oh, that's at least 15 minutes before I get to see Louis. Like, honestly, that was my... And that's nothing against Todd. It's like, I came to see that redheaded ginger motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. When you come to a show specifically for a person and not quote-unquote comedy, there's different expectations.
Absolutely. And I think that's something we need to remember, because I know a lot of us, we go like, oh, well, you know... I don't know why I did that. I didn't have to change my voice, because I'm literally sitting here, I'm going, well, Jerry Seinfeld does this, or Joe Rogan does that. What's fucking Jerry Seinfeld and Joe Rogan? They're not Blane Laramie. I'm nobody. So for me to sit there and go, oh, well, you know, Louis C.K. has a new hour every year. Yeah, he's also been doing this as long as you know, Roman has been alive. Mm-hmm. So for me to have a fucking type 5 is pretty damn fantastic in comparison, but I'm like so eager to like, oh, but I need to be at that level. Alright.
Hello? Yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, you see, do you think that came off dickish?
Absolutely.
Do you really think so?
Absolutely, yeah. Who was it?
It was my stepdad.
That's fine. That's how you talk to your stepdad.
No, but do you think that was dickish? No.
I don't know your relationship. I mean,
we're cool, but I've been like, I've been having a bad week. But anyway, I don't want to linger. I don't really want to talk about it. I'll mention that through my notebook that I've written for a year and a half. I mentioned that before to you. On top of a roof to let go.
Was that roof on fire?
No.
Do you wish it was?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
but do you want to get that notebook back?
No. You know what's funny? I threw it up and it came down the first time I threw it up. I swear it came down. And I threw it back up.
Was that God telling you there's jokes in there? Something in there.
No. I don't think. I think it's me being a pussy and not being able to reach the top of the roof more than anything.
That's fair.
But no, I don't think I was talking mean to him, because it's unfair for him to say drop everything you're doing to pick up your brother from the airport down the week on a big day. No, that's me.
No. You asked if it sounded dickish. Like, so I'm saying, I have no idea. Yeah.
Maybe it sounded dickish, but let me give you the context, I guess. It's him saying, hey, I'm going to take your brother to the airport. He's flying to Hawaii or whatever. And then he's going to get back. Whenever, can you pick him up? No, tell me the day. I'm an adult. I have things to do.
Yeah.
That's not
no, it's totally fair.
It's unfair of him to...
How long has he been your stepdad?
12 years.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah. He's cool. We're honest.
A good portion of becoming an adult, a young man, from going from a young man to an adult, is realizing your idols, i.e. your father, is not infallible. And I don't mean like he is your father. I know he's your stepdad, but like he's been there for 12 years, so it's like he's been your father figure for 12 years. So it's like, yeah, no, that's what you need to do. Well, no, he needs to know you're a fucking man.
No. It's like, but I talk to everybody basically the same. I don't talk to people different. I don't sweeten. I'm not. I don't think I'm a dick. Maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? I have dickish moments, sure.
You do come from Russia.
Like, yeah, the culture difference.
Yeah. Out here, we love our pleasantries.
I know, but when it's fake and it's gross, like I'm a receptionist. I hardly ever smile.
Don't. Why?
Exactly. Why?
Who fucking cares? Just don't be a dick.
Yeah, I could still be pleasant without smiling. And I do, and people like me.
That's funny. If you know how to do your job, it doesn't matter how much you smile.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh yeah, I got this.
I'm not a dick. I'm not a dick when I'm there, but I'm a smile. You can still be pleasant.
I don't know. We're gonna have to go follow him at work one day to make sure he's not a dick.
You gotta be a member. It's a very exclusive place.
I'm Jewish. They won't let me in.
I'm black.
No, but I think it's a cultural difference, and I actually appreciate it. A lot of the times the pleasantries, like I hate shaking hands. I think it's the dumbest thing ever, and I do it by default. As soon as my hand comes out, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. And that's what I'm thinking to myself, like, Blane, you are an idiot. As soon as my hand comes out, you're a fucking idiot.
You know what I like? I like bullshitty moments. Like when somebody asks you, like, how's it going? You start telling them, and they're like, oh, I don't really care. And they still kind of go like, okay, yeah. Well, good luck with that, huh? It's like, no, if you ask me how's it going, I usually won't tell you how it's going unless you say like, hey, how's it really going?
Well, like
Because you don't really want to hear.
Louis C.K. has that brilliant bit about how he doesn't like that small talk. Like, let's just skip to the point where like there's such a moment of silence to where like, what did he say? Like, yeah, I hate my father. Like, that's fucking brilliant. Like sitting in an elevator.
Oh yeah, in the elevator.
Yeah,
with
don't bother with that.
Yeah.
How about this weather, huh? Like, yeah, it's fucking weather.
No,
right?
just stand in silence. I prefer silence.
Yeah.
It's a waste of breath.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely, and it's insulting.
It's not insulting.
It is. No,
It
no.
isn't.
I mean, for you, how about this weather? It is.
Oh, that's
insulting.
insulting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
it's
it is.
insulting. Yeah.
It is. It makes so much more sense to say I hate my father. It makes so much more sense.
Well, not even that. Especially if you're with your close friends and you can't have a quiet moment, you should question your friendship.
Very true. Very true. I just mean I mean it more like with like work associates or like like people who you're kind of forced to interact with, regardless of whether or not you actually want
like
to.
Colleagues or something.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, you can still be close.
No, you have
and
to-
still be pleasant.
With friends, if you can't have a moment of silence, there's something wrong. Yeah, and she's probably a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Absolutely right.
What else do you want to talk about? I think this is going well.
I agree with you. That's about it. I wanted to talk about your opinion of Vladimir Putin. You claim he's a homosexual.
I know, but that's comedically. It's not nice.
I'd like to apologize. For
I would love for him to be gay. I think that'd make me happy.
So what do we call the USSR now? What are we supposed to call it? I don't even know.
It's not the USSR.
So what is it?
That's Russia.
It's just Russia?
I'll be 100% honest with you. I don't know too much about it.
I don't either. I don't
know.
But in 1986, it stopped being the USSR, which is the United States of the Soviet Republic. Do you not even know that?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for.
I'm still lingering on somebody thinking I'm a dickhead when I spoke in English. Saying,
No.
You gotta tell me.
You're an American now. Fuck them.
I'm not an American yet. My green card runs out in a year.
You've been here for 12 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You have to be here for at least 13 years, right?
Yeah.
Once you're here for 13 years, you're considered, what is it called? I can't remember. Once you're here for 13, if you can prove you've been here for 13 years, which you can with like school records and stuff,
Yeah.
there's some sort of like, you're basically considered a citizen. Like if you just basically sat in somebody's closet for 13 years and you can prove like, I bought a donut, I sat in someone's closet for 13 years, oh shit, you're a citizen.
I don't think they give a receipt for donuts, so I think that's a fallacy.
Okay, I didn't mean to do that.
That's true though, right? Wouldn't that be the most disappointing coming out of the closet in 13 years? I'm an American. They don't give receipts.
It's like one of those just random receipts. Like it doesn't have the date on it. Like fuck. Like those little like the like
You're
the
taking a line at the DMV. It says 54 on it. See, I could do jokes too. I don't have to be serious all the time.
So you
It's like the complete opposite of me being serious majority of the time and doing a little bit of bits instead of a bunch of bits and a little bit of serious.
You aspire to be a professional comedian.
No,
No?
yeah,
Okay.
no, I was gonna go back. I should be a person more often than I am. Like, I feel it's kind of gross.
I like you just the way you are. I like you just the way you are. You and forgive me if this is in some way, shape, or form not a compliment, but you and Jeremy both, you have that thing about you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are you, and what you are isn't conducive to what people are used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can be crass, or you
I'm
can
not
be curt.
Am I
No, I'm saying you can be. You can
Sure.
be. And we don't expect it from you guys for some odd reason. We don't expect it from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really it puts people into a situation that actually sit there and think about you, which I think works to your benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to make them fear you before you make them feel you. People go like, did I do something with Roman? And then they find out a week or two later, like, no, he's just a curt person.
But no, I guess what I'm taking away from recently, at least, is like I can just tone it back a little bit. I don't have to chime in all the time. I could just, again, be comfortable with silence and just relax.
You try what?
I can be comfortable with silences. I don't have to chime in every conversation. I don't have to be the most interesting person in the room. I could just pull back and say, hey, it's okay.
And you are 22 years old?
21.
21?
Yeah.
I'm 38 and I just figured that out. I literally just figured that out like 3 months ago. Like, hey, Blane, sometimes you can just not fucking open your mouth.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the best thing ever, not opening your mouth.
It
and
is.
I never knew
You're
that.
absolutely right. No, you are absolutely right. Like, my journey into adulthood really began about 6 years ago. And that's one of the first lessons I learned. Like, my ex-wife and I were estranged. And, like, I wanted to tell her this, and I wanted to tell her that, and I wanted to tell her that. And I just wouldn't. I mean, a lot of it came from, like, a lot of advice from, therapist-type people. Just shut the fuck up. Yeah. And I mean...
So you've seen a therapist before?
I've been going to therapy off and on since I was 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I went to my therapist today out in Malibu. Bluffs, moosh! Anyway, but it wasn't really until I stopped, saying, I want to do this, or I can do this, or I'm going to do this, and, like, all these, like, basically empty promises, and, like, I love you so much, and all that. It wasn't, it's the second I stopped doing that, and just started being a father to my children, and not bothering her.
So basically things you were passionate about, and things you could actually control, like, you actually did want to be a good dad.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, and I kept trying to verbalize it, but it's like, the second you shut the fuck up about it and continue to do it, you're good. Yeah. Like, literally, the second you shut the fuck up about it and then just do it, people notice.
And there's another thing also, I don't know if that's on topic, but, like, I was talking to somebody a few weeks ago, and I said, like, life has compromises. You can't have everything that you want to have, right? And then they go, why not? And I'm like, that's a good point. Why not?
Was that Jessica? It sounds like Jessica.
No, somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah. And they said, like, yeah, why can't you have it all? And I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Dude, I'm living the life. I am in no way, shape, or form where I should be as a 38-year-old male in the United States of America, especially being a father and stuff. But they have their mom. I mean, I don't mean that like she, they have
where does she live? You told me she was far away. Oh, she was far away before.
No, that was when she left me.
Yeah,
and she had every right to do so. I was a wreck. She had actually moved to Tehachapi. So for me to drive, I was living in Ventura and/or Oxnard at the time. So to drive from Ventura to Tehachapi and back, I could have basically been in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I heard you mention that on your thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
On your podcast, that's what the thing is. I've listened to all of them.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Can I tell you the one I like? I like the Legacy one. I've actually thought about that.
Good, thank you. I appreciate that. That's important to me. It really is. That's something that I live with every day. Like, my dad, he's actually my stepdad, and he didn't have to take us on. He didn't have to take me and my brother and sister and my mom on. He did, and he did. What's that?
Let's talk about stepdads. I like that.
Do this. All right.
That's true. Yeah, isn't that ballsy to take on just strangers?
Dude, we were a fucking wreck, dude. He had to, we lived in government housing in a shitty neighborhood. I mean, he was a very white, very normal guy.
Was
from
he
Oregon.
Was it military?
No, not even close. Not even close.
I just figured because you were in the military.
No, that was, I joined the military when I was 30 years old.
Yeah, why later in life?
Because I was out of options. That was kind of a response to my ex-wife leaving me and taking the kids. Yeah. Well, my ex-wife left me and took the kids and then moved, she had family in Tehachapi, and that's why she ended up there. That was a wake-up call to me. Unfortunately, that's what I needed. And I was like, oh shit, okay, I need to change things. So I changed things so drastically that I literally found myself saying, I'm just going to do the opposite of what I was doing a month ago, and then I'll be fine. So I started going to church. Just do whatever was the exact opposite.
That's a little bit extreme, but I do agree with the logic. Like, theoretically, if nothing is going right in the moment, the complete opposite would be correct.
But understand, I was dealing with one extreme, so I had to go to another, for lack of a better. I was literally drinking myself to death. I was miserable.
Do you have an addictive personality, or
absolutely, absolutely, yeah. When I found Facebook, I'd be on it for like 12 hours straight. Yeah. When I first found it, it's stupid. That's embarrassing to admit too.
Why is that embarrassing?
Because nothing has changed, actually.
You know what's funny? I was gonna say it'd be embarrassing if you still do it.
I do.
Oh, you do you. It's okay.
Well, no. Here's the embarrassing thing: is because I feel pretty confident in who I am, but there's still a substantial part of me that goes, please validate me.
Me too. Yeah, and that's the problem with not being okay with silence, as in wanting people to acknowledge you.
Yeah.
It's being comfortable in your own shoes, just shutting the fuck up, and if somebody doesn't like you, it's okay. And me saying it out loud is a great step, but ultimately I have to fucking put it in practice, because I still find myself,
and not everybody's gonna like you.
And it's gross. I wouldn't want to hang out with me, if that makes sense.
And not everybody's gonna like you, right? That's a fair assessment.
It is.
You're not gonna be everybody's cup of tea.
No, you can't.
And for you to beat yourself up
isn't that a powerful statement? If I wouldn't hang out with me, that's pretty fucking powerful.
Oh, dude, I couldn't agree with you more. I feel the same way about me.
Yeah.
I can't stand me. Like, a good portion of my personal revelations have come from the opportunity to look at myself from a third-person perspective. Like an example, my friend posted a picture on Facebook. I looked at it and said, "Oh, who's that dork?" It was fucking me. It was me, and that was based off of how I was dressed. I'm like, who's that dork? Like, I dressed myself, and I'm going, who's that dork?
Yeah.
And it was me. I was like, oh, okay, I'm a dork.
Yeah.
And that was a revelation to me. It's like, holy shit, I'm a dork. And I was like, okay, cool. I know I can work with that. Good, because I love Back to the Future, and I love weird science. And I love science. I am a dork. I'm a fucking dork. But, you know, like...
Well, it's one thing to like, you actually have to be good at it to be a dork, so...
That's fair. That's fair. I'm a dork enthusiast at the very least.
There you
You're
go.
right, yeah.
You got to master long division before you could be a dork.
Oh, goodness.
This is fun. I wish we could keep it going. You can make this 2 episodes. Look at me be narcissistic. People want to hear it 2 of me.
You know what? Could you just host a show and I'll every now and again just ask you, I'll softball you questions like, Roman, why are you so amazing?
No. I feel like I'd be a valuable addition to the podcast if we had 3 people in here. We should do a 3-way in here. That's not gay.
That might, well...
I don't want to have, you know what? I don't want to have Leo in the room because he would just talk too much. He has an opinion about everything. It's great.
Yes, but his opinion...
That's the guy who says a bunch of negative stuff. I don't want him around. Oh, it's great.
No, I know you're just giving him a hard time, but his opinion is based on actual research, so he's one of the few people who actually pays attention.
Yeah.
Not all the time. Every now and again you catch him slipping.
The first time I ever talked to Leo, he told me he is like part of a protest group. I'm like, what do you guys do? They're like, oh, just go protest stuff. I'm like, what's time for that shit?
It's important, dude. When, you know, I mean, their situation, and I'm compassionate to it, is
this
you
is
know...
the nicest item in the house.
He's holding... That's actually my Air Force dress shoe.
Nicest item in the house, hands down.
Actually, that's... I have Egyptian cotton sheets. Is the shoe still nicer?
Yeah.
Shit. You're probably right.
It would definitely go in the good corner of stuff with the guitar, with the pull-up bar, the shoes.
Can I get the pair of shoes or just the one shoe?
Just the one shoe.
Alright.
You don't want to be cocky.
I don't. That's a good point. I have a pair of white shoes too. That's like what rich white people wear, right?
So you definitely shouldn't have them because it's misleading.
Well, the guy I stole them from was really rich and white.
What if I steal shoes? That's like, what if they were the wrong size?
What do you mean? Who hasn't stolen shoes?
I haven't.
Do you know how you steal shoes? You go into the shoe store.
Oh my god, did it?
You put shoes on. You put your shoes in the box, and then you walk out.
Yeah, I stole a PlayStation 2 from somebody.
From somebody?
Yeah, somebody I knew.
Do you want to apologize for it?
Yeah, sorry. I feel bad now. They weren't doing well. I swear.
Do you want to tell me which pawn shop the PlayStation's in?
No, I kept it.
Nice. Can I come over and play it?
Well, I kept it when I was like 12.
Ah, shit.
Oh, PlayStation 3 now.
He's mine now.
No, let's go back to stepdads. So, what was your experience with stepdad?
I hated his guts. I
Why?
couldn't stand him. He was intrusive.
Why?
Because he was just some dude.
And you're some dude too. You're some little dude.
I know, but I was like 10.
I know, that's like I was 9 when I had my stepdad. When I had my stepdad. That's fucking funny.
You're like, oh my god, here, push, it's a stepdad!
The idea of children talking about stepdads like childbirth. I had my stepdad.
I had my stepdad. Oh my god, you look fantastic.
For having a stepdad at 10, you look great. That's fucking funny comedy.
That is fantastic.
I'm keeping the bit, you can't have it.
You can have it. You know what? Just remember me when I'm still one of the little people. Well, you know, my mom was a handful, and she still is.
Mm-hmm.
I was a handful. I was a little piece of shit. I was just a little ghetto kid, and my brother and sister were just so young, but they were. My brother and sister have a different dad than me.
So you have a half a brother or sister.
Well, I mean, they're my brother and sister.
But you have a bloodline.
Whatever. That doesn't make sense to me. They're my brother and my sister. I mean, I hate their guts, and I can't stand either one of them, and I don't want to talk to them, but all of them, not just half of them.
Well, technically, my sisters are my half sisters. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I get you. And I guess
bloodline.
I guess the nomenclature is there, but no, they're my brother and my sister.
Okay.
There's no half about it.
They're half. Anyway. Don't you hate them?
Dude, I'll tell you what. With my ex-wife and her new boyfriend had a kid. Her name is Molly May. She's a doll. I love her to death. That's my son and my daughter's sister. It's not half sister. That's my son and my daughter's sister. Mm-hmm. They don't see her as half.
I know. I don't think of them actively as half either.
Yeah.
You're like half of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like for me, it's like that doesn't even like why.
I don't even think of my stepdad actively as my stepdad.
doesn't even come over.
You don't have to.
Yeah, but ultimately, I don't think my mom was.
I had the benefit of my stepdad dying, so I have no choice but.
Did he do anything bad to you ever? Like,
No,
honestly?
never. Oh, you know
Why
what?
don't you ever say that?
One thing, no, he was a dude. I said he took me and my mom. And
I
my
know.
brother.
That's why I wanted to talk
Any of you
about it. We're
fuckers
going
who
on
know
positive.
me back like up until maybe like 7 years ago know I was a piece of shit.
Dude, 10 people listen to this podcast.
Hopefully, one of them has known me longer than a week.
10%.
10%. That's 7/10 of a person. 7/10 of a person knows me.
I do base 10 math. That's all I do.
But
That's not even base 10.
no, like you know,
he can do anything bad.
You know, and I mean, a good portion.
I'll tell you the thing my stepdad did. Go ahead.
Okay, a good portion of why I didn't like him is he just would agree with whatever my mom said, and in hindsight, duh, why wouldn't he? He's raising somebody else's kids. What is he gonna like? Oh no, you know what I think? I think they're gonna go to bed without dinner. No, he's gonna do whatever the mom says.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right? But I resented him for that because he was basically my mom's yes man.
Mm.
You know,
How did he die, if you don't mind me asking?
heart attack.
Huh?
Heart attack.
Oh, how old was he?
63.
Oh,
In this chair. I'm sitting in.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I thought you were kidding.
No, I'm dead serious. This is the Trey heart attack. I love my dad. I really do. And I'm not normal. To me, this is the closest I'll ever get to him. So I don't believe in heaven.
Okay, that's fine.
So I like this
I
show.
don't, it'd be, I'll say it like this, it'd be nice if heaven was real.
I couldn't agree. That backpack right there, the backpack, he gave it to me. He gave it to me about 10 years ago. He gave it to me, it hasn't even been that long. I mean, it looks like he gave it to me 10 years ago, but he gave it to me when I went back to school. And I left a note in there like, proud of you, whatever you need. Oh, God, I'm going to get all teary-eyed. But, so, like, yeah, no, yeah, he's my dad.
Yeah.
And I hold very dearly the few things he gave me. I mean, he really took very good care of me. I hold dearly a lot of things he gave me. But I didn't really start to appreciate him up until my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
When I look back and it's like, I had my own kids and it's like, dude, like, to date a girl and then like, oh, by the way, I need you to help me raise my kids, that's a pretty big deal.
Right.
I dated a girl and I put her in that position and she didn't want to handle it. She didn't want to deal with it. And I understand that. In hindsight, I understand. Even at the time, I understood, but it's like, we live together. Yeah. I need you to babysit every now and again, but I definitely understood. It's like, that's a big undertaking. Like, yeah, I like her pussy. Good. Fucking give Billy the sex talk. Like, what? Like, okay, yeah, I really like your mom's tits. Now, why do I have to drive you to school every morning? How did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's kind of unfair.
Yeah. But I think it's important you realize it even at this point.
Absolutely, yeah.
Better than not.
Okay, now you go.
So he hates Jews. No. It's not true.
Is there a lot of racism in Russia? I would imagine there is.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'll be honest. I was 9. But
So
no, let me tell you about
okay,
That's what I actually do.
Keep
remember.
talking.
Where are you gonna go?
I'm running away.
He's running away. He's walking away.
Okay.
Look, oh, I can't handle Roman sober. I'm gonna have another beer that's warm because my refrigerator doesn't work, and I'm an adult. I don't have my life in order.
It's a decorative refrigerator.
Oh, look! I have to crouch under the fucking pull-up bar that I don't use. That's a hassle. Maybe I should just take that.
Count off these pull-ups right now. Count them off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I'm so out of shape.
5, 6.
Oh my God.
Six.
I'm so out of shape.
You know what? I'll give you 6.
Thank you. I
Funny
appreciate
story, sidebar. In high school, they had a pull-up bar and they had the Marines there or something. And I was doing the pull-up bar, and I got to like 4, and then I'm like halfway and I can't do anymore. I'm like 4.5, and then the Marine goes, "So we don't count halves in Marines." I'm like, "Do you guys just round up?" I put it in the script I wrote to you. I put it in the script, but it fucking happened. And it was hilarious.
That's rad.
Right? That's
I like
the
that.
perfect question.
Yeah.
But in the script, I wrote a always sunny spec script, and he was doing push-ups, I think.
The answer is no, they don't.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't.
That's what he said too. It was very disappointing. But what I do about my stepdad again? I didn't have a car for a while. I got my license, and I thought I'd get to use his car. And then he's like, "Nope, not the case." So a year of not having a car but having a license. Let me show you. Have you seen my license before?
No, I have not.
Oh my god, let me show you my first license ever. It's not gonna do justice for an audio podcast.
Oh, we're fine.
That's fine. Or a shitty GoPro.
That's an amazing GoPro,
But
sir.
for your shitty eyes that are going bad because you're old, you're gonna enjoy it.
Shut the
Fuck up, right?
Wow.
Organ donor, can't believe it, right?
Is this still valid?
No, they have a hole in it. Yeah, it has all my fucking information on it, don't worry.
I thought the whole meant you got a DUI.
No. That's how they keep track of DUIs.
That's what I
a whole
thought.
bunch.
No, when I got pulled over, I ended up blowing a .03, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they took my license, and they're like, "Cool, yeah. If you want another one, just go to the DMV and give them $30." And I'm like,
Well, what? Can I give you $30 and we'll just?
"I
skip
can
the
just give you the
step?
one back, yeah."
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Or how about you just give it back? Like where is like how? Where did it go?
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Just his pocket.
It stayed within the system.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck did it go?
Right? Yeah. Can we just like cut it maybe so
I
nobody
mean,
has
it's
that?
but it is. It's a little bit of a hustle.
Yeah. But,
Why don't they
okay,
just give it back?
Let me go back to my
Go
stepdad
ahead.
again. That wasn't even the thing that upset me. It upset me a little bit, but he used to not like giving me rides to my friends' houses because he would have to pick me up. I'm like, that's not nice.
That's not.
Yeah, it's not cool.
No.
Yeah. It's not like he had a legit reason. Oh, I guess it's fuck off. We're going 10 minutes. Relax.
Was he working on his masterpiece?
No.
What was he doing in the interim? What was he doing in the
No,
meantime? That was so important.
He used to do woodwork. He actually is pretty good at woodwork. He hasn't done it in like many years, but he's cool.
What did he make?
He's made like pictures and stuff. He made tables. He made I don't know if he made dressers, but he made my bookshelf. Not a bookshelf. It's a hanging bookshelf.
Mm.
He made it. It's not like amazing, but
What
it's.
did he make it out of?
Oh, look at me shit on him. It's not amazing, but
What
no,
did he
it's
make
cool.
it out of?
Wood. He's a
What kind
I
of
don't
wood?
fucking know. Look at
Is it painted?
Touch my hands. I've never done a hard
Is
day's
it
work.
painted?
Yeah, he finished it. It's
Is
pretty.
it hardwood?
It's hardwood. It's beautiful.
Okay, so it's probably like a poplar.
Yeah, he has like these pictures where they have different pieces of wood, and he cut it up and stuff, and he aligned them and stuff so they all fit in perfectly and make this like design or something.
That's cool.
We used to have a coffee table that we got rid of after they had the kids because we needed room. And the coffee table is actually really cool. I think we might.
Wait, you got rid of the kids or the table?
No, the table.
Okay.
But yeah, the coffee table is actually his nicest one, I would argue. I think he made it. Wouldn't it be funny if you bought the coffee table? That's a pair, remember him buying.
It's very nice, yes.
What else? Yeah. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. It would be nicer if he wasn't a dick about that. I'd appreciate that, but hey, it's okay.
Now what are you gonna do? I mean, adults seem to think that like kids don't remember shit. Like I can treat him like shit and he's not gonna remember tomorrow. Like kids remember fucking everything. And I think a lot of adults don't remember what it's like to be a kid. Like when I talk to my kids, or when I deal with my kids, or when I discipline my kids, I go like, okay, what was it like when I was that age? I know my daughter, I can't relate to being a young lady at 13, but I can definitely relate to being 13. And I
Yeah, being 13 and being around other young
yeah, I'll
ladies.
explain. Like, I don't understand what it's like to be a young lady. I don't know, but I do know what it's like to be 13.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand. I'm dumb. Everything I say is stupid. You don't want anything to. I mean, you know, and that's where she should be mentally. But I think a lot of adults, they just think kids are dumber than they're. Kids are not stupid. They're not stupid at all. I mean, you're a kid. You're not stupid.
No. I think I'm more aware than others. I hate to say it, but that's probably the most narcissistic thing I've said tonight.
No, here's the most narcissistic thing that's going to be said tonight. The fact that you're aware is a burden. Intelligence is a burden.
Yeah.
Ignorance is in fact bliss.
I know, it's beautiful. It'd be nice not to be aware.
It really, because it's like you're like, hey, there's this issue and we got to deal with it. You're like, well, what time? You know, I got fucking Sex in the City's on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna really invoke change with.
But like
intelligence.
right now, I feel like there's I'm gonna tell you about this one too. Like I feel like there's a couple crucial parts of my social life. When I was like 15, we went to my friend Jerry's house and with my friends, and I felt like my friends didn't like really like me all that much, right? And there's like maybe 8 of us there. I just flat out asked them like, hey guys, why don't you guys like me? And for the next like 15 minutes, they all fired away reasons why they don't like me. and it was a real moment. And then instead of being a pussy and getting butthurt, like, I went back and I fixed it. And he's been better since.
Well, I imagine their problems were reasonable.
They were. I was annoying.
How are you able to have that insight? How are you able to? Most of us would be devastated by that. If you sat there and you said like most of us sat there and said, hey, to our 4 good friends, what is it you don't like about me? I think most of us we'd probably at least lose one of those friends.
I lost one of those friends eventually, but for a different reason.
But that's pretty insightful. That's pretty insightful, especially for being a young man. I mean, I have the benefit, of course, of being very jaded, but like these are all things I'm just figuring out in my mid to late 30s. So I'm very impressed that at this young age you figured that out because our words and our actions are very powerful
Mhm.
in the right circumstances, and to give somebody an opportunity, if you just find out like, hey, what is it you don't like about
Yeah,
it?
I like people being honest and
Yeah.
open.
And it's not stuff like, oh, you're a Republican, or you know.
No, it was real stuff. Like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
annoying. We don't like the stuff you say. You try too hard. It's like, yeah, I do. You're right. And when you hear somebody say it, the people are especially close to you, and you know they know you. You're like, yeah.
I mean, when they say try too hard, you mean like to fit in or to be funny?
Yeah, fit in, funny,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That's annoying as fuck.
It is annoying as
It's
fuck.
annoying
And
as
guess
fuck.
what? I stopped.
Yeah. Well, there's some of us who still do that, so.
Well, I stopped, but I also
Yeah.
got funnier. So when I do those bits, they're actually fucking funny now.
Well,
Because I know how to do them now. I get it.
Well,
And they don't always hit. And when they don't hit, I still know how to way out.
That's fine. Sometimes it's just the crowd, sometimes it's your delivery, sometimes it's a combination.
I'm talking about the social situations.
No, well.
Not even about the stage. That's a
Life,
different reason.
life is a stage.
Yeah. Even right now, I do too many bits and I should tone them down. But anyway, so it was one of those moments. That's when I was like maybe 15. That's when it happened. I remember it clearly. We're at Jerry's house in Ventura at his old house, not the new house. I know everybody was wondering. I wanted to clarify. Yeah, I had one of those talks a while ago. Not a while ago, on Thursday night. I got home at like 4 a.m. and I went to work.
If I at your age asked for even just people that I'm regularly acquainted with, if I asked for people what it is they don't like about me, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I wouldn't be able to handle
Yeah,
it.
but why? Why aren't you open to criticism like that?
Because it's exactly because I'm not open.
What's
To
wrong
it.
with
I mean,
that?
it's in my later years in life that I have. Well, dude, I mean, a lot of it just comes from self-esteem issues.
Okay, this kind of goes back to meeting people after the show. If somebody says something shitty to me after a show, I know they're not holding back because my friend, that's what they actually think. Because they don't know me and they're not going to hold back for any reason.
Yeah.
And that's where I guess that hurts occasionally.
But at the same time, it's not.
And it's also nice when they you know what?
Well, it's not Johnny Carson saying.
95% of the time they say the loveliest stuff ever. It makes me feel sweet. But, and I do like going out and meeting them sometimes, but I don't want my heart to rely on it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, you know, there's in the I don't know if you ever heard this statement, but in like the food service industry and stuff, you know, there's going to be 1,000 compliments for every one complaint.
Mm-hmm.
People are more apt to complain. For every one complaint you receive, there's 1,000 compliments that you didn't hear.
Yeah, that's true.
So just think about that. Every time somebody complains, and it's weird, 'cause you haven't even performed in front of 1,000 people, but somehow you have 1,000 people who just love you.
But no, if you take everybody all cumulative, it's probably
Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, even somebody who's doing comedy 5 nights a week, if they came up to you and said, oh, I didn't like this or that, you wouldn't take it too seriously. So why would you take somebody who's not doing comedy at all too seriously?
I wouldn't take it seriously, but I prefer not hearing it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that.
Because it's like I could rebuttal them and waste my breath. That's where it comes down to shutting up. It's like, it's not worth it.
See,
Or I could just say, hey, okay, thanks, have a good one. And I just end it there, which I do.
and
That's
therein
my way.
lies
I don't have to argue with them.
a delicate balancing act that I find. Where do I participate in being Blane, and where do I just shut the fuck up for the sake of the benefit of my best
As soon as you
interest?
get off stage, you do what you feel is right for you.
I know, but I don't want to get into like a political or religious debate with somebody and then end up losing them as a potential fan.
Don't talk about it then. It's as easy as that.
Okay.
You don't have to talk to somebody deeply. I feel like we're talking like people right now. Like, when you meet somebody after a show or something, you don't have to talk to them like this.
True.
Hey, you like that? Yeah, high five, take a picture. See you later.
People take pictures with you?
Oh yeah, let me show you this. It's funny, somebody comes up to me after a show, they're like, hey, can we get a photo? I'm like, of course. And then so they whip out a fucking Polaroid, take a Polaroid photo, give it to me and walk away.
That's weird.
That was one of the weirder ones. It's funny, isn't it?
He plays for the Raiders.
By the way. Yeah. It's not funny though.
That is odd.
My business card and all that.
Gravedigger. What's Corinthian? What's that?
I think it's like island related.
This is pretty thick, dude.
Yeah, I just got him.
Patrick Bateman would be very, very jealous. You know who that is?
Patrick Bateman.
Patrick Bateman.
I was hoping to say Swayze because I would know who that is.
American Psycho.
Yeah. I gotta take this back a little bit too.
American Psycho, the movie about the serial killer, was a well-to-do New York investigator.
Never seen it.
Oh gosh darn it. Who played Batman? Who played Batman?
Oh, I know who you're thinking of.
What?
Oh,
Wow.
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 All right, here's the game. Who remembers who's Batman first?
Okay.
Oh, God.
Christian Bale.
Fuck you!
Now that's funny because as soon as it became competitive, I was like, I got this.
That's right,
As soon as
right?
it became competitive, I was like, I'm gonna kill him. Patrick.
I do
Patrick
that in
Christian Bale.
every social situation. It's like, hey, what's your favorite program? I'm like, all right, let's make it a game. They're like, Sex in the City. If you disagree, fuck you.
Yeah. Clifford the Big Red Dog, you whore.
I don't know. I don't all the time see yell during this 2-hour block. It hasn't been too. I'm really good at time perception.
It's okay. I'm gonna play it at half speed.
How long has it been? I'm curious.
It has been an hour and 14 minutes and 56 seconds.
Wow, we're almost a feature or movie length.
Fuck me in the mouth. This is gonna have to be a 2-parter. Jesus Christ.
See? That's
Alright.
how Roman gets him. He just doesn't shut the fuck up.
Sorry,
Even
guys,
like-
for next
hey,
week.
wait,
Sorry, Brody Stevens. I'm not gonna be able to interview you next week.
Try to wrap up the podcast and I won't let you.
All right, so
Oh,
that
dude,
was
that actually reminds me of this time.
go ahead. Oh, that's kind of just that was a Roman.
No. Like, this time, like somebody said my name. They're like, "Hey, this is Roman." I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." And then they're like, "You're awesome." I'm like, "Oh, stop it." But you go ahead.
So
That reminds me of the other time I was like out and they're like, "Hey, I'm trying to wrap up this show I'm doing." I'm like, "No, wait, I gotta say something." And they're like, so what else about your stepdad you don't like?
So this is the Blane Laramie podcast. Thank you very much for listening.
No, seriously, before don't. I forgot.
My
No.
My
No, seriously.
Go ahead.
Are you gonna get Chipotle after?
If you want.
Are you buying?
Can I smoke some reefer?
I don't give a shit.
Then probably. Yeah.
Just blow it in your kid's room like you did earlier.
Dude, don't put me on blast. Kids, Daddy smokes the reefer.
Kids, you're not listening to a podcast because you have a better life to live.
Right. True that. That is. If my kids are listening to my podcast, I'll be very upset.
Especially if they got to the end and they heard this part, they listened to it for an hour and 15.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I want to give props to me for being this interesting of a guest. And I just want to give them a hard time for saying this long. I'm like, get your shit together, your kids. Go fucking play with the rocks. That's funner than hearing.
Wait, didn't you graduate from college?
Yeah, I have a business degree.
Why don't you have a job?
Because I'm a loser.
That's a pretty good reason.
Yep.
So you're just gonna work at the yacht club for the rest of your
No,
life?
I gotta get out of there. I hope my boss doesn't listen to it. She doesn't have free time either, or a computer, or an internet connection. So it's not a problem.
Or interest in my fucking podcast?
Yeah, she's also not my friend on Facebook. Dude, my real dad added me on Facebook, speaking of that.
Why would you be friends with your boss on Facebook? Why would you
I'm
do
not.
that?
I'm not.
Oh, okay. I thought you just said you were.
I said I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm friends with my real dad on Facebook, though.
Alright.
He added me, dude. Oh, dude, let me show you a picture of my real dad while I have
Let's
you
see
here.
it.
While I have you here at your house, let me show you that.
Is he as handsome and boyish as you are?
Nah, you be the judge of that, sir. His name is Yuri. Sorry, enjoy the silences that adds to it.
Hold on to it. That's a pretty good looking guy. Alright, kind of has a Michael Chiklis thing going on.
Hey,
over
suck
there.
his dick.
Where'd that palm tree come from?
It's a green screen.
Where was that picture taken?
I don't know. I don't talk to him.
That's
funny.
There's no palm trees in Russia.
No, there isn't.
I was gonna say,
You know what's
okay.
funny? Okay, so check it out. I have a picture with a bulldog.
He still lives in Russia, right?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, yeah.
He doesn't love me. What?
Hey,
Hey, oh, you said it, not me.
my biological father left my mom the second she told him she was pregnant, so my dad loves me less than yours.
Oh, hold
My
on.
dad's not adding me on. Wait, let me check. Yeah, no biological
I
father.
like how you check us, sweet. What if he was?
Oh shit!
That'd be the weirdest coincidence ever. It'd be amazing.
That would explain why my podcast is #1 in the world right now.
It's not. So he hasn't spoken to
Thanks, Dad.
me. He hasn't. You could have fixed it. He hasn't spoken to me in like 6 years, maybe 5 years. And I have a picture up with a bulldog, and then the thing he writes back is, "Hey, is that your bulldog?"
So that's how he breaks the silence after.
Yeah,
Wow.
hey, is that your bulldog? And he knows how to read English, and I clearly say it's not my bulldog in the comments.
Because he didn't read him.
He's like the awkward kid who's like tries to fit it up. It's like,
That's your dog.
They're like, hey, did you see the Ravens Hawks game? And he's there all along. He's like, hey, who played? It's like, shut up, Dad.
It sounds like a lot of birds.
Oh God, I hate. It's funny. The guy. I hate to say it, but I had a good time.
That's a good way to wrap up the podcast, actually. If you hate to say you had a good time.
Yeah, I wish, you know what, I wish I knew people would actually listen to all of this. So
Who's a better host, me or Mark Maron? And bear in mind, I'm here.
Oh, I thought you were asking the listeners. I don't want to make you feel I thought you were doing some rhetoric.
Son,
That's how people
daughter.
say rhetoric.
I'm talking about just my children right now.
Dude, no, your children are not listening to this shit. You're the
No, but here's the benefit.
You're the only person who's gonna listen to this podcast while you edit.
Yes, exactly. Boom. No, you're gonna listen to it too. There are gonna be 2 listens. Gonna be me. It's gonna be you.
I know. We'll do it together, so it's only gonna be 1 listen for your count.
Do you have any shows coming up? Do you have nothing to promote?
God, what the dude? I don't matter. What is wrong? Do you have anything to promote? Yeah, I do have something to promote. I'll be watching the front desk of the Pacific Caribbean Yacht Club Thursday through Sunday from 8:30 till 2:30. If you want to join, please come by. I'd love you to come by. I have business cards. I want to get rid of them. I have 250. That's right. I get to buy them from Vistaprint. They're $18. Fuck that shit. Google Vistaprint coupons. 50% off $9 cards.
I thought the first 250 were free.
They weren't.
Damn it! What happened? Thanks, Obama.
Dude, do you know Vistaprint actually?
Wait, what?
Do you know the company Vistaprint?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Their calling center is centered in Jamaica.
That's relevant because
I spoke to them through customer support because they fucked up some binders I ordered for my job. I did a really good job. And
was the fuck up your phone?
And then the guy sounded Jamaican. I'm like, hey.
Wait a minute, you're a receptionist. Why are you ordering bound copies of anything?
Because I'm also the assistant manager. Don't you get it? I'm a part-time assistant manager. Have you ever heard of one? Me neither.
So you introduce yourself as a receptionist, but claim to be a part-time assistant manager.
Well, I have business. I'm just as confused as you are.
I'm pretty much, yeah. I was gonna say,
you want to hear something?
The janitor is a part-time assistant manager.
Our maintenance guy. We don't have a janitor. We have a maintenance guy.
I don't want to discriminate.
Dude, no. He came up. He has the greatest bit ever. I do this bit outside of work because it's that great. Like, invite me to go do something.
Hey, you want to go to the movies?
No, sorry. I gotta walk my dog. That's it. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what time. Doesn't matter. I don't have a
Let's
job.
try this again. Hey, you want to walk dogs together?
Oh no, I gotta walk my dog separately. It's the greatest bit. It's the greatest bit ever. It's especially funny if you're asking somebody out and they're trying to like negotiate the day or something. They're like, hey, you want to watch Inside Out tomorrow? They're like, oh no, I can't. But can you do Friday? No, I gotta walk my dog. It's the greatest thing ever.
I like it when somebody goes like, hey.
It's funny when it's even bigger stakes. Like, hey, I got these concerts to go see the Strokes at the Hollywood Bowl. Do you want to go? I gotta walk my dog.
No, I like when someone's like, hey, I'm getting married and I want you to be there. I'm like, I'm busy that day. They haven't told you what day?
Yeah, I gotta walk my dog.
Yeah. I gotta walk my dog. No, but that's my variation of it. I want you to come to my wedding. I'm busy that day. I didn't tell you what day. Well, what day? June 10th. Well, I'm busy. I'm walking my dog.
There you go. It's the best excuse. It's Rudy gave me Rudy is his name. He deserves the credit. It's funny. And then his other phrase that I love, he's like, Roman, you're as fake as the $3 bill.
That's an older joke, though.
That's fucking funny, though.
It's actually.
I've never heard it before.
Are you sure you didn't say you're as queer as a $3 bill? Because you're a little on the fresh side.
No, I don't know. He told me fake as a $3 bill. I don't know where it's from. I loved it. I give him the credit. I'm sure I could Google and find out where it actually came from.
Actually, I think fake is also.
But I gotta walk my dog. I say it all the time now because it's fun.
Is that an homage to your yo-yo skills?
I don't have yo-yo skills.
You don't. So you admit you don't know how to yo-yo. You admit it.
Yeah. It's hard, dude.
Outside of comedy, what do you do?
Nothing. That got sad.
No, that's awesome. That's brilliant. Why would you do anything else?
I lift weights and I don't do it well.
Where do you work out?
Work out 24-hour fitness. You can
Why?
find me.
Don't you? There's not a gym at the yacht club?
No, there isn't. There actually. I'm glad you
asked.
asked.
What the fuck kind of shitty ass yacht club is this?
It's actually the nicest yacht club in Oxnard.
It's the only yacht club in Oxnard.
No, there's actually 5.
Really?
It's the nicer one.
But what makes is the fact that
I don't want to plug the business. They don't like me. They don't give me raises. They're not getting my promotion.
Which one of them are whites only? All 5 of them?
All of them.
Oh,
They're yacht clubs.
I didn't. Just by definition, right?
Wouldn't it be funny if like my boss listened to this and I got fired over this?
Then you could come work for the Blane and Laramie podcast. You could recept for me. I need an assistant. By the way,
what?
By the way, to both my listeners, Roman and myself, So basically, you need to be my assistant. I need an assistant. I need somebody to figure out how to get my what are these things called? podcasts on iTunes. I need someone to keep track of my calendar. I need someone to tell me when
You
it's...
don't have to be places. Just keep track of the days. Yeah, sure, it is Thursday.
I, unlike you, am not above bringer shows. Sir, I will be performing live July 12th on the main stage where guys like, I don't know, Rodney Dangerfield have performed July 12th, as an example.
Oh, jeez. Look at the guy who hypes it up. But man, who else is gonna be there? How much are tickets? I'm sure that's gonna cost a fortune.
Well, we are going to have some celebrity special guests. I can't mention their names.
Because you don't know them.
That's a good, that has a lot to do with it, yeah. Oh, we've just pulled the curtain back, kids.
Nobody's gonna call you out like that.
It depends on who's in town on July 12th, honestly.
Exactly. That's the way you should plug it. People love that shit.
But that's awesome, because every now and again you get Amy Schumer, you get Bill Burr.
But more likely you'll get Steve from down the street.
We've gotten Kurt Fox. He's pretty funny, from Parks and Recs.
Yeah. I love Cecil
Godfrey
Maurice.
was coming through for a minute. He's hilarious. I love Godfrey. I think he's very funny.
I want to get myself credit for doing
what's his
that.
name? Francisco, what's his name?
Pablo Francisco?
Pablo Francisco, yeah. Yeah, he's been coming through.
If you die.
Yeah. He's fantastic.
He is fantastic.
So yeah, there you go. I mean, think about it from
How
that
much? No,
perspective.
but seriously, Blane, this is gonna cost a fortune. Like I don't know, how much are tickets? Like $40?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Look, I work at a yacht club. I can't afford that.
Listen, I'll tell you
24
what.
hours a week, part time. I don't get benefits. I know you're gonna ask.
Are you willing to act now?
Well, I do have my Wi-Fi password punched in for your.
If you're willing to act now, if you get on comedystore.com.
Oh fuck off! It's a .com.
It's not a .gov.
Oh wow.
I got in trouble actually.
.gov?
I was like comedystore.gov, which is ironic because the Pentagon came up. Anyway, Comedy Store, Sunday night, the Martin Harris Show on the main stage, 8 p.m. You know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and let you have tickets for $10.
No, seriously, $10?
$10.
Dude, I'd love to be there, but I gotta walk my dog.
Shit.
Whoa, text
You
message
do,
Colombo. What does Colombo want
He
to know?
wants to know if you're going to Proving Grounds.
Keynote. No, busy doing shitty podcasts.
Is that yeah, no, good. I believe it. I totally believe it.
I'll
Please
send it.
send it, yeah. He'll know exactly who you're talking about. So you're like, I didn't know you're on Blane's show.
I'll say it rhymes with Blane Laramie show.
Now someone needs to start a Rain Garamy show.
In the same way, Pitbull rhymed Kodak with Kodak. Dude, if I'm not a genius, I don't know who is.
You are.
I sent all those.
When are you gonna be a star? Do you want to be on TV? Do you want to be on TV? Do you want to be on Comedy Central? Do you want to be on the Tonight Show?
Not to brag, but I recently did a actually like back. When did I do the taping? I did a taping. It's not even big credit. I did a taping at the Tur Harbor Comedy Club for their West Coast comedy that never gets posted anywhere. Did a taping for that.
Why do they tape it then?
For funsies.
Is it taped by the harbor?
It is taped by
Well,
the
they
harbor.
they tape every performance, don't they?
No, they don't. They have
Oh.
2 cameras for this one.
Ooh, fancy.
Columbus said, "Do it here." Don't tell me what to do.
Hey, ask him if he wants to be on my show, and then when he says yeah, just be like, tell him I'm walking my dog.
You see, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Oh my God, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
How fun is
Walking
it?
my dog. Yeah.
Hey, your mother is doing. Walking.
I'm walking my dog. Fuck.
Fuck, that's fun.
Maybe I'll walk my dog through the funeral procession. Maybe we'll see.
Conflict of interest.
And
Oh my God, here's a funny thought. Maybe not, but you know when somebody goes like, "I'm a good guy, right? I'm a good guy, right?"
Yeah.
And then you have headstones that say "good guy, good husband." And you're like, he's probably not.
no, yeah.
Because when a good guy's a good guy, he doesn't say he's a good guy.
You're basically just doing Todd's bit now.
Am I really?
Yeah. Because he said like the guy's like, oh, I'm the type of guy. Wasn't that him? They said
I
I'm
don't
the type
know.
of guy.
I really don't recall.
He's like, we get to determine.
Oh, no.
That's it. He wasn't. He's like,
Yeah,
we
that's
get to
probably
determine
right.
what kind of type of guy you are. And we
Yeah.
talk about you behind your back.
I didn't mean to do the bit.
Oh, it's alright. Okay, let's close on this because I mean this is gonna have to end up being a 2 episode, which is fine.
Suck up these nuts! Told you I could do it!
God damn
He
it!
yells at an audience that doesn't exist.
Now you made me forget what I was gonna say.
But fuck you, it was worth it. It was so worth it.
What the?
You're gonna have so
Oh
much,
yeah, that was
You're
okay.
gonna have so much fun listening to this and adjusting all the levels
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they
yeah.
match. Because I whisper half the time and the other times I just fucking yell!
I know. I'm gonna have to find some sort of like. You know what? I'm gonna have to take it to.
I'm like
adult-
George River,
Oh, by the
just
way,
yelling.
by the way, check me out on Vivid Adult XM. I'm their featured comedian. That's my vibrator. His name is Roman. I will be. You know what? I can do this without you here.
No, go ahead. Dude,
Okay.
just do it.
I will be Vivid.
You can't
Adult.
do it with me here.
I can't. Vivid Adult XM.
Dude, it's just Roman. Don't get nervous.
I'm nervous thinking about
I do shows 5 to 7 times a week. It's not a big deal.
Oh my god. Some of them aren't in your basement.
I don't have a basement. The joke's in you.
Then why do your parents? Never mind.
Because they don't love me.
Okay, crawl space. Anyway, what the fuck was? Okay, I will be Vivid Adult XM Radio's featured comedian.
You're like a black girl talking with your
No,
your
you
fingers going
didn't.
everywhere.
No, you didn't.
You're like a metronome with a finger that
yeah.
doesn't exist.
I will be performing fellatio on Roman's mom. Okay, that was inappropriate. But I will be Vivid Adult XM's featured comedian of the month of July. So if you like to jerk off to the radio, give me a listen. For the entire month of July, I'll be doing promos. Roman has absolutely nothing to promote. So gosh darn it, what was I? I feel as a stand-up comic that it's in my best interest to what's his name? Doug Stanhope said when he watches somebody else's comedy, like when he watches somebody else's like comedy special, he does it sober, and you know there's like because he doesn't want to end up getting inundated with other people's materials. How do you feel about how much comedy that you watch, and how do you feel it affects you? Let's end with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I feel like I have to stop watching comedy because I'm afraid I'm gonna
That's
end
how
up.
I feel.
Cool. So you feel like
You know, somebody said it again great to me. They said it's all or nothing.
yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah. But at the same time, I saw this dude do a bit, and this dude's a nobody from like it was like 1985. I don't mean it disrespectfully, but like I don't know. I mean I'd never heard of him.
And then you named the name. It was like Steve Carey. He's a nobody. Nobody should know who he is. So
His name was Tom Arnold. All right.
So Tom Arnold was doing this bit. Right? But
Hey, never name drop. Burt Reynolds taught me that.
oh fuck off. That's so hacky.
That's not my joke.
Tom
Hey,
Ar-
fuck you. That's a goddamn Norm Macdonald joke, you asshole. How dare you?
Okay, you name dropping on top of
I know, I am.
Tom
So
Arnold.
I was hanging
Then
out
he
with
made
Todd
the
Glass
lemonade.
the other night, and he's like, Louis C.K. called me and said blankety blank. But yeah, you feel like you have to limit how much comedy you're exposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
So-
again, live your life, make it unique. You could still talk about like fucking carpets and Xbox controllers, but if it's a unique, so you can still do it.
I do like there's a couple comedians that you have suggested to me that have both been fantastic.
I
And-
listen to like really weird comedy. So you can,
Yeah,
like,
that's
Tim
what I was
Minchin.
going to get to. Can you by chance just happen to name? There's two comedians that you
Oh,
like
I
sent
can
me
name a
videos.
bunch. I'll tell you.
No, but like there's a couple that I wasn't too familiar with until you mentioned them. Well, one of them is what's his name? Bo
Burnham.
Burnham.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Fuck,
Mhm.
I never heard of him until you sent me that video. He's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
And the other gentleman, I'll just go ahead and say the other gentleman was the British gentleman with the long hair.
Yeah, Tim Minchin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So would
Tim
you,
Minchin was my first comedy show ever when I was 18, or actually 17.
where'd you see him?
Largo.
That's awesome.
It's
dude.
funny. That's actually my dream to perform at Largo. And I was talking to somebody about it. I'm like, hey, my dream is to do like 5 minutes at Largo. I'm like, at that point, I really made it. And they told me like, dude, you got to dream bigger. I'm like, what, like maybe 10 minutes at Largo?
Well, you're basically saying the same thing I'm saying about the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
To me, being on the main stage at the that's it. That is fucking it.
Mhm.
And it's like, holy shit, I need to progress beyond this.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like the fantasy has become a reality.
Mhm.
Now it's like, okay,
Well, ultimately, it's going to like life and linking back to stand up. But if you have goals, you have a sense of direction. So if you don't have goals, you don't have a sense of direction.
true. Comedy is one of the few places I have any sense of direction. Even with my own kids, I'm like, as long as they stay alive, I'm good.
It's okay.
With
they're
comedy-
not listening to this. You could speak.
With comedy, I'm obsessed with progressing. I am obsessed with
Mhm.
progressing. That's part of my competitive drive is I have to be the best. I have to be the best. And in comedy, there's no such thing. There really isn't. There really isn't.
Yeah.
You know, like even when like I saw, and I mentioned it like, oh, Amy Schumer is surpassing Louis C.K. as the voice of comedy. That's just fucking silly. But at the same time, to see a woman surpassing a gentleman as the voice of comedy, I'm totally on board with that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but like, yeah, there's a.
Do you mind if I pee really quick?
Can I get it on tape? All right, give your shout out. Just give your shouts out.
Oh, did you see my shout out video I did for school?
I did not. Oh yeah, I did. That was awesome.
All the things you're all the things you're thankful for.
Yeah. No, he thanks him. Or you thanked yourself, right? Or you were inspired by yourself?
Yeah, that's how I ended it. I want to thank myself for being here because without you, it wouldn't be possible. Without me, no, I said without me, it wouldn't be possible.
You're absolutely right. No, that was brilliant. That was fucking brilliant. And I'd like to thank my mommy. And granted, fuck, you should thank your mom. You should thank your dad. You should thank your teachers. Whatever.
Yeah.
But like, no, you are the dumbass that got up every morning. You're the one with the wherewithal to do it. You.
Yeah.
Nobody else can celebrate it any more than you.
Mm-hmm.
So to take that away from you is just asinine. So
All right,
congratulations. You have a business degree, which means you're going to work at the yacht club forever.
Or go back and get an MBA and then find a
And then work at the yacht club forever. Roman, thank you for being on the Blane Laramie podcast. Thank you so much, dude. You're fantastic.
It was fun, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Let's go get Chipotle.
Let's do this. Let's get out of here.